Okay, it is a sharp 2 o'clock Manila time. Welcome everybody. My name is Nita Pokhrel. I'm the Chief of Water Sector Group at the Asian Development Bank. Day after tomorrow is International World Toilet Day. And if you are at the Asian Development Bank, you probably have seen actual physical toilet as you entered ADB. I hope some of you have taken photos with me to post, raise awareness about the lack of sanitation access in our region. Across the world globally, we have over 3 billion people without toilet access. In our region, it's over 1.2 billion people. So for me, every day it's a toilet day. And today we are going to talk openly toilet and shit. I always proudly call myself a shit engineer. And the plight of our region, we all have to talk toilet and shit openly in our homes, in our schools, with our parliamentarians, in offices. So I hope you will join us. And with us, we have the most inspiring toilet solver. He says he solves the toilet shit problem for his love. And that's the only way to be. So allow me to introduce our speaker today, Professor Dr. Jack Sim, who is the founder of World Toilet Organization. He built 16 profitable companies before retiring at the age of 40 to devote to social work, founded the World Toilet Organization, WTO, the very important WTO. He has broken the taboo for sanitation agenda globally, created the UN World Toilet Day, 19th of November every year, which was unanimously approved by all 193 countries members of the UN General Assembly. Over the last 21 years, Jack has created a global toilet movement that has reduced the population without proper sanitation during this period from 40% to 25% today. He was named Schwab Fellow of the World Economic Forum in 2006, Ashoka Global Fellow in 2007, Times Magazine Hero of the Environment in 2008, Queen Elizabeth's Commonwealth Points of Light Award in 2018. He's also received his master's in public administration at the Lee Kuan Yew University of Public Policy, an honorary doctorate from the University of Strathclyde in 2022, and founder of the BOP Hub, a collaborative platform also to end global poverty through market-based solutions. So without further ado, over to you, Jack, to tell us about the global sanitation movement that you've been leading and how we can change the agenda to have everybody covered. Over to you. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Nita. And I'd like to thank ADB for this opportunity to share and hopefully to continuously be a partner for the sanitation program. So I will use a PowerPoint and I will explain the journey. And then after that, half an hour, we'll have a question and answer. So let me share the screen now. Okay. And also happy World Toilet Day soon in 2 days time. So I was a school failure and I couldn't study, so I got an honorary doctorate when this year when I'm 65, and I graduated with a master in public administration when I was 56. So I'm a really slow guy, you know, start very, very late. So today we're going to talk about how to create a massively transformative global movement. And whatever you learn from here on sanitation, you can do it in any other thing. You can do it for hunger, for energy crisis, for healthcare. It's the same. So sanitation was unspeakable. And so everybody in the development sector call it a water agenda. So I asked them, why did you call it a water agenda? Why can't you say shit, you know, toilets, poop, sanitation? They say, no, stop. If I say shit, nobody's going to fund me. I say water, I get funding. I say, so your problem cannot be solved if you don't say the words that's needed. It's like you're saying men, and then when you say men, you mean men and women, but then you never talk about women issue. So if you say water, you mean water and sanitation. Who's going to understand that you mean sanitation when you don't even say the word? They say, yeah, the problem is all about funding. If I don't get funding, I don't say it. So now unspeakable. And I went to whole world. I went to 61 countries to study everybody's toilet problem. Can you imagine people go to holiday to see Eiffel Tower? I go to holiday to see how people shit. So this is in Orissa, and every morning they do like that. So I wake up like 5:30 in the morning, and I see this, right? And the woman is over the other side. I didn't take the photograph of her. And all this shit will spread disease with the flies, and then the rain comes, it goes into the river and contaminated. And you know this problem, the diarrhea and all that. So around the world, about 2 million people die of diarrhea every year, and 40% of the world population didn't have a toilet at that time. So when you think about it, you flip it over, it's actually 1 billion toilet needed, and it's a big marketplace. But nobody is supplying it because it's an inefficient marketplace. So you have to start driving the demand. You can see a child here, a girl having diarrhea walking past me in Bangalore, and she took off her panties. You see, in a country like this, she very young, but can be raped because she's naked. And a lot of time when they are in open defecation, especially adolescent girls and women, they get raped every day, right? So this is ridiculous. And the children, they are sitting on the roadside because if they go down to the field, they get sharp objects. So they are doing this. And I'm taking all these photographs just by driving around. And so we started the World Toilet Organization because we have to shock the world. So we use a guerrilla marketing strategy called the WTO. That sounds like the World Trade Organization. And I was really happy if World Trade Organization will sue me. But unfortunately, they didn't sue me. So I thought if they sue me, I'll be very famous. But they didn't sue me. But I became very famous because I'm now called the other WTO. And ever since, we became a sensation from day one on 19th of November in 2001. And the whole world talks about toilet because it's so funny. You see, when people laugh at you, they're listening to you. So I just don't worry that people laugh at me. I'm very happy when they laugh at me because I'm getting them to the subject. And if we don't discuss, we cannot improve. We don't discuss, we cannot improve, right? So we have to talk about it so that this will be a solution. So we started the World Toilet Summit in Singapore, 2001. Then we went on to Korea with Suwon, mayor of Suwon City. And then in 2003, we went to Taipei. And then 2004, we went to Beijing, prepare for the World Olympic. And then 2005 in Belfast, in Moscow. Can you imagine? Our connection to Moscow was the KGB, and they arrange us to have a meeting in the State Duma. And we went to see the space station Mir, right? And then by 2007, we have the President Abdul Kalam host the World Toilet Summit together with Sulap International and 6th Minister, World Health Organization. I think you know John Lane over there, and the Crown Prince of the Netherlands, who is now the king. So he's a very good friend, right? All the time he's supporting me. And when I was, this is the 7th year. So every year we have a World Toilet Summit, we have World Toilet Day, and the whole world media is like 3 billion outreach per year. And so the Crown Prince, William Alexander, he asked me, Jack, where are all your people? And I say, wow, you're looking at all the people because it's only me alone. They say, how could that be? Alone? How do you get all this organized? I say, I asked them to pay for it. Everybody else has to do their part, right? I'm only the storyteller. And he was so amazed. He brought his wife, Maxima, Princess Maxima, who's now the queen. And we go together he was the UN Secretary General Advisory Board chair and was very, very supportive, even today, right? So we then went to Africa, South Africa, for the township and everywhere. In China, we went many times. We went to Hainan, went to Macau, Xi'an, Shanghai. So in Indonesia, it was in Solo City and in Kuching. So next year, we are actually hoping to go to Tokyo. And you might think that Tokyo have no problem. Well, toilet cleanliness is a very interesting thing. No matter how clean it is, the local people don't think it's clean enough. And Japan, on the other hand, has the highest toilet culture. And we want the whole world to go and learn how the Japanese turn from developing country to developed country to the highest toilet culture, and why cleanliness is such a high priority for health, for productivity, for quality of life, for dignity. So we have to continue to do this work so that people have some model to follow. Yeah, and so I have World Toilet Summit 2019 in the I have to tell them I'm in a meeting. I cannot call. I'm in a meeting. So sorry about that. And so in 2019, before the COVID, we have the World Toilet Summit in Sao Paulo. 50% of all the sewage treatment, sewage are not treated, and they don't have money. So we propose to the Senate 2 months before in Brasilia, and we tell them that we need to pass a law for private-public partnership. The moment you pass this law, foreign investor will come in. And then they say, that's wonderful. Why don't we do that? We have no money. So they passed the law, and the Chinese money came, and all the other loans came and investment came into the government-owned water treatment plant. And so $10 billion invested in the sewage treatment today. So it's just only about 2.5 years ever since the law was passed, 7 months after our World Toilet Summit. So you can see the power of our persuasion, our advocacy is really, really strong, right? So today I'm in Nigeria with the president of Nigeria opening it, and the Minister of Water Resources as a driver, and the Minister of Environment, and also Health Minister is coming. And the number 2 in the UN, Amina Mohammed, she happens to be a Nigerian also. She's going to zoom in, and then myself. And this is very, very nice project, because now the Gates Foundation also sponsored this. We didn't plan their sponsorship, but when they came, we could invite all the officials from different states all to come and join, right? And along the way, President Clinton came to support. Time Magazine named me Hero of Environment. It's not like I want to be famous. It's that these things create legitimacy for us to make strong say safety for people to engage this subject. So the more we create this media legitimacy, the more people join us. Then Matt Damon start to promote World Toilet Day himself, and we're just glad that they keep coming, because he owns water.org. And then Gates start to invest in reinventing the toilet. And so if you can see what we do, we have unlimited resources because we have no money. It's the reverse thinking. Since we have no money, we use other people's money, other people's talent, other people's authority, time, power, brand, and we learn the skill, how to align all the aspiration into an ecosystem so that we can ask them to mutually exploit each other. Forming an ecosystem is about mutual exploitation becoming collaboration. And if you collect a lot of mutual exploitation, collective selfishness becomes selflessness. This is a very high art. But once you master this, you don't have to worry about who gets the credit. Everybody gets the credit because they are all the champion. And you are the orchestrator. You are the facilitator. You don't need to shine. You have to make them all the champion. And why would they do it? The politician gets to win election. I'll explain to you later. So then I went to the United Nations and lobbied for the World Toilet Day, our founding day, to be a UN day. And after 10 months, having lunch, reception, dinner, coffee with first all the big blocs like the EU, 50 over countries, then the Forum of Small States, 100 over countries, then the big countries like China and Russia, and then the small countries. So some of the countries we couldn't find, but when we go to the UN, we already have 122 signatures. So out of 193 is more than half. And in fact, you know, how to create a UN day, that itself is a particular skill that I never had. So I went to look for a person called Kenzo Hiroki, who helps Prime Minister Hashimoto created the International Year of Sanitation. And once we got that done, then we started to promote the World Toilet Day, and we got unanimous confirmation from the all countries, and so it was a unanimous vote. And this is the first time Singapore history we have ever tabled a UN resolution all by ourselves. And with that onward, then all the solution for sanitation become official, and every country observe this. And this is why it's now very easy for us to open door, because like we come to Nigeria, we talk about it, and the Nigerian government immediately says, we want to host it, because they knew us even before we know them. And that helps a lot. Yeah. So people like Salman Khan start to help us on fundraising on national television. We have a lot of fun doing this work, by the way. Prime Minister Modi built 110 million toilet, won 2 landslide victory, and came to Singapore with this 2 flag photograph, very official. And this helps me when I go to India. I show this photograph, everybody say, okay, you are legit, right? And then we created 6 World Toilet Colleges in India, starting with Aurangabad and partner with Harpic, the bleach company. And then the Jay-Z and Coldplay perform for World Toilet Day, 80,000 free ticket in Mumbai. So this is done by global citizen, and they just tell us, hey Jack, we're going to do this, come. So can you imagine, when you create a movement, you do not need to raise funds. You make other people do it and you support them. So in China, President Xi Jinping has the toilet revolution. He became a champion because in 2004 we started the World Toilet Summit, and then by 2000 and I think about 6-7 years ago, he felt that this is very important, and he became the champion. So you see, I changed clothing, right? And then we created rainbow school toilets. I raised funds for 15 toilet blocks, and now it's adopted by 215,000 for 215,000 schools by the Ministry of Education. So, you know, we don't have to do so many, we do 15, and they got 215,000 schools. So Japan last year was supposed to have World Toilet Summit, and I wrote my Japanese biography, sold 15,000 copies with PHP Institute, the largest publisher. And now they know, if anybody wants to know, they just buy a copy of this book and they can read in Japanese. And we hope next year to go back, because last year they canceled it because of the Winter Olympics was a failure and the COVID, right? Then before the Queen passed away, I got a Points of Light award from her, and lots of movies in India started with a toilet theme. And I also wrote my own movie for the Singapore comedy called Everybody's Business. Just hold on. I am in a seminar. I am in a seminar. I have to come back to you. Give me half an hour, okay? Okay. Yes. Sorry. Then my own movie, you can screen this, Mr. Toilet, the World #2 Man, is going to be, it's already available. So you just have to pay $500 and you can screen it publicly. But if you watch it privately, I think it's only €450. And so the publicity went around in Cannes, in a lot of film festivals, and the Netflix one is coming up, still under negotiation. Last year, 20th anniversary, we have the World Toilet Day stamp by the United Nations. And so as you can see, in the last 21 years, 2.4 billion people got access, 193 countries celebrate. We broke the taboo. We also create about 3 billion audience per year. It's like one Gangnam Style per year, and 19 World Toilet Summit, and it costs us nothing. In fact, each of the Toilet Summit, they pay us $50,000 to have the rights to host it. Like Nigerian government paid me $50,000 this year. And I'm now working with the Singapore Symphony Orchestra to create a symphony in P minor, which is a new musical note, the sound of urination, and and also cartoon series. So it's like continuously imagining things to do, right? So now this is the project we want to work with ADB, that people think toilet standard is one type, but it's not. It is many toilet standard, because different culture, different wealth strata. A toilet in a shopping center, in a swimming pool, in a bus station, train station, in a kindergarten, they are all different. So we have to compile everybody's toilet standard so that you can have a ladder that you can keep on climbing upwards. Yeah. And so the treatment system has already got a compendium. So there's a lady called Elizabeth Tilly from AVEC, and she has produced that, and we are going to produce the book too, because hers is about treatment and ours is about everything above the toilet, in layout, ergonomics, in design. And together we will create this for free download for government, academia, everybody to do, so that there's a central depository of all the knowledge. So this is the first time we did was 2011, just a small one with the International Code Council. We found that it's not universal, so we want to now make everything work. So we have a scope, normative references, terms, and all that. So we have right now a lot of volunteers, but we need it to be done professionally. So we will need to work with the ADB and fund a writer, maybe a PhD student. There's a lot of PhD candidates who are looking for this job, so we can do that. I'll come in January to talk to you about it. But how do we break the taboo? Is powerful storytelling. The media, they want readership and advertising income. So my storytelling become very attractive to them. The politician, they want votes and power. The media will give them the votes and power. So they call Jack, come with me, and then we go together, right? And then the policymaker needs to do the cost benefit analysis, which the academia is very happy to provide, because the academia publish, or they perish. So these are all synergy. As you start to see, the mutual exploitation are going on very, very efficiently. And then the celebrities come because they want to be popular. The donors come because they want to be visible. The NGO, of course, they come because there's money, and people get toilet. So this is the way we do orchestration. And we are not a consultant, and we are mission driven, and we do this for the purpose and meaning of our life, so that we are totally agnostic and we are able to give everybody what they want. So here is a chart which will take a long time to digest, but basically the funders, investors, technologists, entrepreneurs, NGOs, politicians, media, and the corporates, they all want things that are on the left side, which is to earn more money, save time, save costs, avoid mistake, co-distribute, co-design, have database access, frictionless relationship, and nowadays ESG branding. So everybody needs something. And if we just put the sweet spot align with other people's sweet spot, it works like wonders. So a lot of linear thinker think if we connect 1 to 30, we got a chicken. But if you are a visionary thinker, you say, here is a chicken, and then you start telling them the story of how a chicken look like. And when you explain successfully, they see a chicken. If you don't explain well, they see 2 dots. So my ability is to let people see the future before it is available. The moment they see the chicken, they become a potato, and then a potato have a shoot, have a stem, have a root, and they grow lots of other potato once you plant it to the ground. And then the brand itself just keep on building like a Fibonacci fractal growth, and repeat until it blooms. So you don't need to be the leader. The movement, the belief system need to be a leader. And if everybody is a beautiful shape, then you have to be the leftover paper that you were supposed to throw away after cutting out the beautiful shape. If you are willing to be the background noise, then you can be the orchestrator. So the next thing I'm now doing is I created the base of pyramid hub. The world has 8 billion people since yesterday, and 4 billion are earning less than $8 a day. And so we have to solve poverty by bringing the whole ecosystem together, working like a Swiss watch. Once this efficiency happens, it will work like a forest where all energy are conserved and all things are recycled and reused. So when we think about innovation, it's 90% failure. If you think about copying, it's 90% success. So there are 44,000 social entrepreneurs with proven solution, and we want to copy and recycle. And so I am now making a software to copy this 4,000 social entrepreneur business model, codifying it and replicating it everywhere. So if your colleague in other part of ADB can be interested in ending poverty, not by one sector like energy or health, but by all together, then this will be very, very successful. So what happened is that we have to take a community, and then we have to build all the plug and play model, all the business model together, so that we can bring all the stakeholders together. If we are able to do that, then this would be a solution. Yeah. And when everybody is working together, then what happened is that they have a life of its own, because it's also profitable. So here we have, I built 10 million Singapore dollar, a World Trade Center for the Poor, we call it the SDG Center. And then this is in next to an MRT station in Singapore. And I hope to coordinate all the people. And lastly, I would say all the problems in the world are caused by masculine approach. We keep on trying to win and to say, it's me, I am the greatest guy, I want to save the world. Everybody don't compete with me to save the world. Everybody get lost. I save the world. It's impossible. So we have to go by a feminine approach, which is like the mother. The mother facilitate the whole family and don't claim the credit. She's just happy when the children grow up and husband is successful, she is successful. She doesn't say, you know, all these children, they were useless. I made them successful. Never. No mother ever said that. So we have to adopt the feminine approach. It doesn't mean female or male. Men can also adopt the feminine approach. Female can also adopt feminine approach. The feminine approach is louder approach. It is facilitate. And if we facilitate it like the forest, then you are another mother called Mother Nature. Mother Nature facilitate everybody, and nothing is wasted in the forest. And there's no such thing as the king of the forest is a lion. It's nonsense. That's Disneyland. Nobody is the king of the forest. Everybody is facilitating one another. No winner, no loser, all survive together. And so fundraising is not the only way to achieve the mission. Your peers are not your competitor. You can't save the world alone. And the movement is important as unit. And then if you are don't mind who gets the credit, then you can achieve a lot. And the last thing is that you're going to die. So your time is limited. And so you have to do as much as possible. So work with all your heart and energize everyone. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow. It's amazing.